B-Marsh Boxing, what's happening, y'all? Scorecards 117, 110. One 118, 109. Unified champion. Ring Magazine champion. Shakur Stevenson, congratulations. So if he's a Ring Magazine champ, is he the lineal? Because if I'm last I remember, the last time there was a lineal champion at 130 super featherweight was Manny Pacquiao when he beat Marco Antonio Barrera in a great fight. The second fight they fought, close fight as well. Here we are. Let's hear what Shakur got to say, y'all. Hold tight. That fella's proposing to his girl. She said yes. Shakur Stevenson got engaged live on TV. Man proposed to the mother of his daughter. This looks like is that the guy's what's that guy? What's that guy? That Mexican American dude Shakur Stevenson beat and he was dating Slim's sister. I don't think that's the same girl. That girl is Hispanic. This girl right here don't look Hispanic to me. Can't really see her face because her hair is in the way. Man, Shakur Stevenson fuck with fellas like Terrence Crawford, Jay Prince, Andre Ward. Man, he got a very good base. You know what I mean? You know, these is fellas who gonna put him on the right track and keep this man, focused. You know what I mean? So hey, this was a good fight. Very one-sided. Shakur Stevenson takes this guy to school. This is vindication for boxing. You know what I mean? This is judgment for Oscar Valdez. And this is what happens when you try to cheat the sport. When you ducking a man since featherweight for over 3 years, you can run, but you can't hide forever. You know what I mean? And Oscar Valdez, this is just redemption for boxing. Oscar Valdez, a two-time Olympian for Mexico. How many medals he come out with? Zero. Actually, let me hear this guy right quick. Let's hear what Valdez got to say with Chepo Reynoso. People tired of Chepo Reynoso and this steroid team. Let me hear. Newark, New Jersey's in the house. Valdez don't want to answer nothing. At least he's giving dude credit and not making excuses like Dillian White. Look at Shakur Stevenson flicking it up, taking all kind of flicks with all them straps, doing the damn thing. I knew this would be a whitewash, man. I ain't even make a breakdown and prediction. I thought this guy had a draw at least with the Robinson Conseo. Like I said, right? Fuck this guy. Two-time Olympian for Mexico. How many medals he come out with? Zero. Let's hear what Chepo got to say. Oh, Eddie Reynoso, excuse me. He's speaking Spanish. I hope they have a translator. Chepo, shut your ass up. Blocked what punches? Look at his face. Look at Valdez face. Man face look like strawberry shortcake out here. Eddie, stop making excuses. Why they even talking to the trainer? Since when they start doing that? Valdez and Reynoso, they need to go to their hotel or wherever they need to go and reflect on this loss. Why the fuck they talking about Canelo? Anyways, Shakur Stevenson comes out the Rio Olympics with at least he comes home with a medal. At least he comes home with a silver medal. You know what I mean? You check it. I thought he won the fight versus Robert C. Ramirez in the gold medal round, the Cuban, but that's neither here nor there. At least he comes home with a medal in his first attempt, unlike Valdez, right? Valdez ducked this man at 126, vacated the strap, moved up to 130. Valdez is being humble with it, man. Can't be mad at him. But he's a steroid cheat. And without steroids, them fellas ain't beating nobody. Anyways, you know, round one, Shakur was using the jab and throwing combinations, you know what I mean? You know, throwing left and right hooks, straight left hand. You know, this was Southpaw versus Orthodox. Straight right hand. I'm sorry, straight left hand and right hook. You know what I mean? Valdez was wild with it. You know what I mean? Missing with big left hooks, missing wide, and even falling down, slipping and shit. You know, this is what it would look like. Basically, that's how the man Canoli looked like when he fought fellas like Landy Lara and Floyd Mayweather, missing wide and wild. You know what I'm saying? So this is basically what at least God give it up to Valdez. He fought a slick fighter tonight. Something Canelo Alvarez is not prepared to do no time soon because this is actually the pilot of the movie, the sequel. The sequel that's gonna happen if the man Canoli faces a slick fighter with good movement, good upper body movement, good lateral movement. And Valdez, he proved that Chepo Reynoso couldn't get him to the point where he could even affect this fight in any kind of way. Okay? Now, round two, Shakur Stevenson throwing the combinations. Valdez starts throwing body shots in the straight right hand. That was Valdez's best punch of the night, the lead right hand. You know what I mean? No jab in front of it, just a lead right hand. Round two, I gave to Shakur. Round three was a close round, which I gave to Valdez. His lead straight right hand was percolating for him. You know what I mean? And the body shots, you know what I mean? Shakur Stevenson was on the back foot in that particular round because of the pressure that the man Valdez was applying. Yeah, I mean, round four, I gave it to Shakur Stevenson, pepper and Slim with the jab. You know, putting that big broomstick in his face, even keeping it out there, holding it through his face, kind of how like Tyson Fury did Steve USS Cunningham, or how Lennox Lewis did fellas like Frank Bruno. You know what I mean? Keep that motherfucking jab right on his face and then clock him with the right hand. In this case, it was the southpaw, Shakur Stevenson, peppering him with the jab, measuring him with the broomstick, and just throwing the straight left hand. You know what I mean? Um, straight right hands, straight jabs to the body by Shakur Stevenson, and straight lefts from a nice distance. You know what I mean? Shakur Stevenson was, yo, this ain't the same guy I first seen in the Olympics. He's filled up into his man body. You know what I mean? He definitely was the bigger fighter in there tonight. Wasn't so much with the hooks. You know what I mean? Fuck all that hooking shit. He the taller fighter. Slim was on his straight punches. You know what I mean? And the straight punches to the body, whether it was a straight jab or the straight left hand to the body, were awesome. You know what I mean? Valdez was in the high guard peekaboo style, really not throwing much. Round four, I gave to Shakur. Round five, I gave to Shakur as well. He's in the mid range, you know what I mean? Basically throwing basic straight punches, you know what I mean? Valdez walks into a big left hand by the man, Shakur Stevenson. Not punching really, just walking into punches is Valdez. Round six gave to Shakur Stevenson, check right hook, drops the man Valdez, puts him on the ropes. He hits the ropes, then the man Shakur Stevenson catches it with a straight right jab, and he touches his gloves touch the canvas, you know what I mean? And even if his gloves didn't touch the canvas, it was already called a knockdown because the ropes held him up with that check right hook, you know what I mean? Valdez face, he's getting peppered, you know what I mean? Now his face is red as fuck, and he getting peppered, his face looking like strawberry shortcake out here, you know what I mean? Red as F, you know what I mean? Round seven, give it to Shakur Stevenson. You know, the jabs to the body, big shots, you know what I mean? And the big uppercut. Now he's throwing his uppercut, you know what I mean, from distance, you know what I mean? Shakur Stevenson got his legs uh, in a nice distance, not too far wide spread apart, but he's there in the pocket, throwing the jab, throwing the left uppercut, you know what I mean? It was a thing of beauty, you know? Um, the man Oscar Valdez is basically in no man's land. And even when they got to clinching, you could see Shakur Stevenson was a stronger fighter. Round eight was a close round. You know what I mean? I give it to the man uh, Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? Round nine, I gave it to Shakur Stevenson as well. Uppercuts. You know what I mean? Mean body shots. You know what I mean? He's basically playing with Valdez. You know, he's catching him with flush left hooks to the body. You know, that's perfect. And then the straight lefts to the body, and then the jab to the body. You know, it was just stopping this man in his tracks. You know what I mean? Round 10 was a good round for Valdez, which I gave Valdez. Finally, gave Valdez a round after, shit, how many rounds? It's been a minute since I gave Valdez a round. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, the man Valdez was throwing the body shots. He threw like four consecutive body shots, kind of like how Oscar De La Hoya did Floyd, you know what I mean? You know, but good round for him, you know what I mean? Combos to the body and straight right hands. You know, the man Shakur Stevenson was basically resting, taking a round off in round 11. I'm sorry, round 10. But round 11, Shakur Stevenson, man, he ignited his ignition and started to batter the man. Um, Oscar Valdez, throwing combinations. You know what I mean? Throwing left, right, straight, left, right hooks and straight left hands. Throwing the straight left hand and the right hook. Throwing many combinations. You know what I mean? Same goes for round 12. You know what I mean? Gave it to Shakur Stevenson. You know, so this was a wide decision as I knew it would be. You know, I thought this man could have even stopped him. You know, what I mean, I'm not saying I was thinking that prior to the fight beginning. You know, at no point in this particular fight was Oscar Valdez in danger of being stopped, but he was getting outboxed out there. You know, he was getting his ass handed to him sweet science style. And it's only right, like I said, two-time Olympian for Mexico came home with zero medals. Shakur Stevenson, one-time Olympian for USA, Unfortunately, he ain't come home with the gold. At least he brought home a silver. You know what I mean? But it was a mandatory for this guy at 126. He ducked and moved up to 130. But you can't run, you can't hide forever. You know what I mean? You can run, but you can't hide forever. And here we are, day of reckoning. And this man got his ass handed to him, you know. And big ups to Shakur Stevenson. Now the other straps, I believe they said today on the broadcast, man, they said he's the lineal champion. And like I said, they ain't been a lineal champion at 130 since the mid 2000s when Manny Pacquiao beat Juan Manuel Marquez in a controversial fight. You know what I mean? We check it. So the other two straps are held by Kenichi Ogawa, a Japanese. He holds the IBF strap. You know what I'm saying? And Roger Gutierrez holds himself the WBA straps. Them two guys should fight because they fight on the DAZN platform. Make that unification fight happen, and then hopefully the winner of that fight could fight the top dog at the number one guy at 130, the man Shakur Stevenson. See what y'all saying in the chat. Manda Solo, what's up? Manda Solo is in the chat. What's happening? He said, "Yo, that was a masterclass. Man, made Valdez look silly." Shakur is the real deal. Absolutely, man. I thought this kid was the real deal from the Olympics. You know, um, Mike one oh sorry, Mando Solo S says Shakur got this got destroyed. His face looks tore up. You mean Valdez got destroyed? His face looked tore up. Mike 104 says Valdez proposed twice in the first round, swinging and missing and falling to the floor twice in the first round. Yeah, he did. With them big hooks he missed. You know what I mean? Mike 104 said Matador, check hook. Yep. The Figaro's in the chat says rhythm footwork, keeping the circle his way is what won the fight. Absolutely, man. That perpetual motion is critical in boxing, you know. And this is what will happen to Canoli if he faces fighters who have some kind of lateral movement. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to tell you, man. Hey, man, Chepo Reynoso is a is a good coach at coaching Canoli to stay away from guys who have that kind of lateral movement like Floyd Mayweather and Landy Lara did. You know what I mean? So big ups to Shakur Stevenson. Excellent victory. I love unifications. You know, and I'm glad we have a unified champion. Now, hopefully, Shakur Stevenson, more than likely, since Gutierrez and Ogawa are not known, very obscure opponents who are holding a strap. Fellas like Shakur Stevenson, man, is probably looking to go to 135. You know, I'm not saying that's what he's going to do immediately, but there's bigger fish to fry at 135, bigger names, more lucrative fights at 135, major players at 135 who ain't fighting each other, except for Cambosos and Haney. But there's major players at 135, and at 130, no, not really. Besides Valdez and himself, that about it. And the man Oscar Valdez has been nullified, null and void. He's out of here. Move to the side. Go heal up your strawberry shortcake face tonight. You know, the kid who don't got serious knockout power, as far as only 9 KOs, did a number on this kid Valdez, and it was a thing of beauty. Judgment Day for Valdez and redemption for the man Shakur Stevenson, who did what he always said he would do to the man Valdez. Made it look quite easy. Only difference from this performance from fellas like Floyd Mayweather and Gennaro Hernandez is Floyd Mayweather made Gennaro Hernandez quit. You know, whether if or maybe Arturo Gotti, he beat the shit out of Gotti. He stomped him in like 4 or 5 rounds. That's the only difference. Besides that, the man Stevenson, he set it off at 130. You know what I mean? And they said he's a lineal champion tonight. So that's a very good, very great thing to put on your resume. That's something they could never take away from him. You know what I mean? He could only lose that if he moves to the next weight class or if he loses in the ring. Great accomplishment for the man Shakur Stevenson, kid out of Newark. Slim got 2 straps, Ring Magazine, and the lineal. It's great for him. Big ups to everybody in the chat, man. The Solo Mike 104. The Figaro. Salute to y'all. I'm gone. Peace.